Hi, my name is Asger and welcome to Wine Gets Me Wine TV. Today I've invited Tom Mullen from John Artist to tell me a little bit about champagne flutes. Hi Tom, nice to see you again.
Very good to be here, Asger.
Thanks for coming down again. Just a little bit about yourself so our viewers know who you are, just to remind who you are.
No problem. I work for John Artist Limited. We've been around about 60 odd years now. We've been an importer of the finest speciality glassware for the entree in this country.
Okay, now what is okay? Tom actually brought along a couple of champagne flutes. Now this is historically is a champagne flute that we're used to, isn't it? Now just a little bit of history on the champagne flute, and if I get it wrong, please put me right. Champagne, as you all know, was invented by Mr. Dom Perignon. However, the English circuit, it was actually the cider makers who originally invented the second fermentation process. But we'll give it to Mr. Dom Perignon. If somebody wants to argue about it, I'm quite happy taking a chin. But let's get it, right. So what they did originally, when they did it was like a coupe type of a bowl, wasn't it?
It's a saucer.
A saucer, yeah. And what they found, right, because they hadn't got the fermentation quite right, there was not many bubbles on it. So I'm assuming historically, this sort of shape has evolved, isn't it?
Yeah, historically a coupette style of glass would suit the sweeter, more wine-like, if you like, champagne, as opposed to the modern, drier, much more effervescent style that we're used to.
Okay, and really, today, people are used to this, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. However, for today, what you've done, you've brought along this little baby. Tell me a little bit about that wine glass.
Well, this is something a little bit different. You would be used to having a champagne flute that's filled to the rim. You're obviously getting a lot of the bubbles, a lot of the mousse. It's concentrating all the bubbles upwards. What we're seeing now is a trend towards the tasting champagne a bit more as if you taste wine. You're getting some much more characterful champagnes, and a lot of the houses themselves are beginning to look at glassware that really accentuates and helps this. What you've got here is we would call it a wine test, an effervescent tester, but it's ideal as a champagne flute for a slightly more characterful champagne. And what it gives is a little dive into the stem, which not only
it's almost like a swirl in there, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Not only allows you to very accurately see what the colour of the champagne, but it also concentrates the bubbles, gives it that lovely swirl that you're used to seeing.
Okay.
You'd normally feel, like we were saying, if you're at a wedding reception, you expect to see a champagne flute filled nearly to the rim. This glass, because it's slightly larger, you'd fill it around about to the halfway point, which gives, when you're sniffing it on the nose, allows the character to come out, but it's still concentrating those delicate flavours that you'd expect from champagne.
What I've done, I've picked Asti. And the only reason why I picked it right, is I've done lots of champagne tasting. I thought, well, Asti, a little bit sweeter. Thought we'd try that one, right. So there you go, Tom. I will let you pour it out, see what we come up with it. So again, you can just, the bottom of it is swirling away. Fantastic.
And see, it's because of the compact shape, it's keeping the mousse on the top.
Yeah,
whereas
yeah,
if you poured that into a saucer, that would be almost entirely flat. You'd have a few bubbles coming up here and there, but not anything like in the same way.
Okay, and I'm assuming you can pick up the flavours in the same way. So quick. Yeah. Asti, I don't know where it comes from, the sort of the Piedmont region of Italy. It's one of the oldest, got the oldest grape variety known as Moscato Bianco. Very, again, nobilio. Again, we're familiar with the Barolo and so on. So a very, very old style of grape. And again, I'm sure you know, champagne uses a double fermentation process. You get the wine, you make it, you pour it in a bottle, put some yeast in it, put the crown on it, let it ferment. With Asti, what they do, they use a different method, known as the Chaumet method, which is the bubbles are produced in a pressurized environment. It is then poured into the bottle, and it's then corked up.
Wow.
So it's not a double fermentation; it's a single fermentation process where, and it's done in in an environment which is completely pressurized. So that's how it works and so on. Okay. So that's that particular glass style. Okay. Right now let's look at this one here, which is a much more traditional style, and let's see how this one sort of pours out, Tom. Oh, I see. It's just
It's bringing up.
the concentration of it pushes it right up.
Absolutely.
So, but look at the mousse and the bubbles are just coming. Lovely, isn't it? Already look. I mean, I suppose really that's what sparkling wine and champagne's all about, isn't it?
It's
So,
about the theatre and
indeed, absolutely.
about that thrill, the bubbles on the tongue and in the nose. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna. Mmm. Again, lovely, sweet, delicate aromas in the mouth. Little bit of acidity coming through there. Almost elderflowery taste. If you want to, I mean, this has really got, like I said, very much of a, yeah. I mean, freshness of the grape, the lusciousness is absolutely fantastic. It's almost elderflower.
Just as a comparison, just as a how that cavity allowing it to move.
Do you know that I'm glad I've done this, okay, right? Because what it does, okay, right, that concentration on the nose is very, very pronounced. Whereas I suppose if I was enjoying this from a theatre point of view, I'd go for this one.
A good slug, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Whereas if I was looking at it from a point of view of a wine that I was buying in for a company where I wanted to get the noses and the taste and so on, then clearly, yeah, there is a huge amount of difference between the two. This is much more concentrated aromas coming through the nose. It's coming through, but not as concentrated. Fantastic. So two different styles. This is one for what I'd call much more of a tasting glass, and this is a sort of much more traditional one, which people use for any occasion. So thanks, Tom. Thanks for your time.
Thanks very much.
That's Asger signing off. Till next time. Bye.